You've done some weird stuff before, Pixar, but let's talk Soul. The pitch for this movie is amazing. Joe is a disillusioned high school band teacher who the day before he's supposed to have a huge break with this new gig ends up dying and finds himself as a soul having to help an unborn soul find its motivation to live in order to possibly get back to his own body. I feel like we all have a weird relationship with this movie. The trailer came out way back in 2019. It was supposed to come out last summer, 2020, and then it's delayed until Christmas and it comes out on a streaming service, so we've been waiting and waiting. I figured, have to take the hype into account, so I went ahead and gave this movie some time after seeing it to just let it settle. Soul feels split right down the middle. Half of this movie I'm absolutely in love with. It brought me to tears like twice. But there's another part of this movie that feels out of place. Everything having to do with Joe on Earth is absolutely wonderful in this movie. It's intensely human, it's sad, and it's perfect stuff for a kid's movie. And do not listen to the reviews that are saying, Soul is just a movie for adults, it's not for kids. And yes, they say it. Just like that. Almost everything in the real world belongs among Pixar's best work. There's even a lot to love about 22. She's pretty much the opposite side of the same coin as Joe, and the two complement each other throughout the movie pretty well. Joe's story on Earth hits that high watermark that we expect from Pixar movies, but the Soul world doesn't. It's so forced, it's flippin' boring. Pixar has an underlying formula that they use with all of their best movies, and that formula points to why Soul doesn't quite make it all the way there. Pixar marries their theme with a beautifully bizarre concept. Technically, yes, all movies have themes, but Pixar has never been afraid to wear its themes on its sleeve. What they do with it is what makes it unique. If the concept is the monsters in your closet are nice, the theme is conquering fear. If the concept is your toys love and miss you as much as you love and miss them, the theme is value your true friendships. The concept is your emotions are actually alive, the theme is all emotions are valuable, even the sad ones. That's what makes Pixar next level. The concept is always great, but so many kids' movies have great concepts. Pixar backs it up with an amazing theme that's tied to it. They always need to have both in order for them to do what they do best. Look, maybe it sounds cheesy, but that's why you cry in Pixar movies. Whenever Pixar movies aren't memorable, it's because it's lacking on one of those two things. Which brings us to the problem of the Soul world. The theme that Soul deals with is powerful, and it's what makes everything on Earth great. Joe being disillusioned with his life, and every solution he looks to digs him deeper and deeper into that problem. You've got an absolutely awesome theme, and it's geared towards something that's going to become a great movie. So you're in the writer's room, how are we going to tell this story? Deal with it with souls, okay? The concept of his soul being separated does not work nearly as well as the stuff that happens on Earth, and it undermines the story. All the problems with the Soul world stick out like a sore thumb while you're watching it and even after the movie. Like the dark side of the Soul world, only deeply spiritual humans like the annoying New York sign spinner are able to wander the dark part of the Soul world. But also, if you're disillusioned in life, then you live there all the time. Or actually, no, Joe, he can play the piano and also wander and interact in this world. And honestly, that thing at the ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. That felt pretty cheap. So yes, I know that it's a great and cool and exciting and deep and philosophical concept. And you know what? Yeah, there are moments where you think, if there was a Soul world, it might work out like that. Fine, I bet you can find technical problems in all Pixar movies. But any problems Inside Out, Toy Story, Coco, Onward had, you don't notice them while you're watching the movie, and they definitely don't come up whenever you're thinking about the movie later on, because while you are watching it, it is so fun, and the theme and the concept are so engaging, you don't pick up on it. If the inconsistencies appear that blatant, it's because the concept isn't working. You can tell that Pixar didn't know how to make the Soul world work because they copped out of it. The biggest sign of this is when the cat showed up. When the cat shows up, that is Pixar telling you, sorry guys, didn't really know what to do. That kind of cop-out is way beneath the way Pixar tells stories. I'm telling you, the creators of the Soul concept loved the idea, but couldn't fit it perfectly to the story. The story of Joe is one of the most beautiful that Pixar has ever told. A message of never take a moment for granted because every moment has beauty in it. That theme is not helped by the Soul world at all. It actually overcomplicates things and hurts the story. Pixar is going to continue making some of the greatest movies ever made. In fact, they're so good at making them that even when they make a movie that is constantly undermining itself, it's still fine.